Now, John, we're a few days before the NFL draft. I say a few days, 10 days out, 9 days out. Your thoughts on what the Falcons may be doing with that first-round pick?
Well, despite what my partner is petitioning for every day to go on the offensive side of the ball with that 19th pick, I'm thinking that Thomas Dimitroff has something up his sleeve. I believe that due to the activity of the people that they've looked at and the way that they've been moving, I'm thinking that he might be targeting someone higher than the 19th pick, which could be a move up in the draft or considerably maybe a move backwards, because there's such tremendous value. And with the Tony Gonzalez trade last year and not having that second-round pick, I wouldn't be shocked to see them move up or to move down at any point in this draft.
A little trickery then, maybe in the third draft, to mess around and really make a move then.
Well, Thomas has shown it. He's shown that he's always thinking. He's always showing that he's looking at what other teams are doing and then trying to react and then being able to make the move like he did a few years ago for Sam Baker. I'm anxious to see what he does. I would not be shocked to see the Falcons trade out of 19 and either move up or move back. Moving back, to me, is the better option because of the fact that there's such great value. Second and third round picks this year may be better than any we've seen in a long, long time.
Now, what do you see as the key for the Falcons this year? Injuries were troublesome in 2009, but if this team's going to compete with the Saints moving forward, what's the key?
If you can't get the opposing quarterback on their back, I think you're going to have real trouble, consistently performing in this league. And that's something that when the Falcons made the NFC Championship game a few years back, before this administration came in, they did such a great job of sacking the quarterback. I think they got to get much better quarterback pressure. They're going to have to get a better push there. Whether it's an outside linebacker, whether it's a new defensive end, they're going to have to find ways to create that. Plus, I think, too, is you got to take pressure off that secondary, because that secondary is not as bad as it looked at some points last year. There's talent there. I trust that if Thomas said, these were guys that he wanted and he felt confident in, that if they change what's going on up front, it'll make the back end of that defense look all the better.
Offensively, what are your thoughts on Matt Ryan year 3 and Michael Turner coming back healthy has to definitely change the scope of what they can do?
Well, obviously I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV, but Michael Turner, I have no doubt that he's going to come back and give everything that he's got. Matt Ryan, I have no doubts. Honestly, that he will take it to another level just because of the fact of working and learning. And it's clear, remember last year, how much they missed Matt when he was down, how embarrassing, the offensive performance was without Matt there. You see how other teams have to, prepare for this Falcons offense. With Matt Ryan there slinging the ball around, I see great things happening. Though I do think the offensive line is going to need some fortification, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that being addressed, just not early on in the draft.
Now, you've got a radio show. You're on the radio on the weekends as well on ESPN. Talk a little bit about the business side of things moving forward with the league. No salary cap this year, collective bargaining agreement. Probably won't hear a lot about it here in the next couple weeks, but it's got to be a concern with the possibility of a lockout in 2011.
Well, what's funny is it's you say terms like lockout, and fans call up the radio shows, whether it's locally in Atlanta or on ESPN, and they start talking about the strike. There's going to be a strike next year. No, there's not. We're potentially looking at a lockout, which is totally different than a strike. I think it would be really interesting for fans to get a little better insight into actually what's going on in the business end of this sport right now. There's a lot of money out there in the pie, and I truly believe that both sides are smart enough and savvy enough to realize that this sport won't be shut down. They will find some way to work this thing out. But I'm anxious to see how it affects certain franchises going forward, like this year. There are going to be franchises, I think, that don't spend this year because of the fact that they don't have to worry about those salary cap, floor restrictions like they have in the past. I have every confidence in the world that Arthur Blank is going to continue to do business as usual. And I wouldn't be surprised if, come training camp, they plug a hole by bringing in a veteran or two. We've already seen that under Thomas and Coach Smith, that they've gone that route before. Find somebody else that someone else doesn't have use for, bring him in and make him a productive member of the Falcons. Falcons, I think, it's a benefit because of the fact that they're going to be franchises who are going to try to go on the cheap this year. And Arthur Blank has shown you over and over again he's committed to spending what it needs to do to bring Atlanta a Super Bowl champ. And I think this team's on the path. I really do. I guess I've never believed in the leadership of an Atlanta franchise except for the Braves. as much as I believe in what's going on at Flowery Branch right now. I like the professionalism. I like the way they go about their business. I like a lot of the decisions they've made, and there are going to be blips, on the radar, and moves that are made that aren't as successful. But I truly believe that the mission and the plan here is so uniform from top to bottom in this organization. I think it's going to pay off in a big way.